what we do, and we need to be realistic about where we are pointing fingers and where we are placing blame. And we can't make stuff up just because it curbs into our political beliefs or, whatever. We have to be true and honest. And what kind of lesson are we as adults and older adults on top of it to the younger generation when we can't own our own stuff? When we can't say, you know what, that really had nothing to do with race. It was really because that guy wasn't following instructions, or that guy was suffering from mental illness. It didn't matter, or like all the stuff with the football players. And oh my gosh, we're making everything so complicated. And unfortunately, this is scaring people. And then you wonder why we have depression and anxiety and all this stuff going on in the world. Well, I'll tell you, my friends, why we do. We do because powers that be are scaring people, and I really think you need to do your own research. Don't even listen to me. That's fine. I'm just throwing suggestions out there. But do your own research, check out, alternate sources out of the States. Why don't you try that? And even out of Canada, I read stuff from the UK, from Australia, from over and in, third world countries where they're being accused of so much. We need to be compassionate to all humans. We really do. Violence is never the answer, but what pushes somebody to that point? Wow, it's a heavy thing, but it's very heavy. Like, I just watched people in Las Vegas, friends of mine who just went there, took their daughter there for the first time, for, I don't know, like maybe her 16th birthday or something. Other friends that go every year. Oh my gosh, my girlfriend, her daughter's going there and getting married like in February. We were actually going to go somewhere for my birthday in January, and now I'm like rethinking everything. We were thinking about going to somewhere hot with an all-inclusive package. I don't even know if I want to do that because of storms and this and that and the damage that's been done, or who knows what is to come. And then, I don't go to the States. I can go. I don't have a record. But I choose not to because all the stuff going on over there. So, there's just a lot of crazy going on in the world. So look after yourself. And it's a great time to turn the TV off and just be mindful, especially as we're coming up to Thanksgiving weekend. Time to reflect what you're thankful for. And I can reflect on the fact that I am thankful for you. Now, here we go. Good news, good news, good news. So this is good U.S. news. So the U.S. Secretary of Energy, Rick Perry, has announced approximately $36 million in federally funded financial assistance to advance carbon capture technologies. Under the Department of Energy's Office of Fossil Energy, the design and testing of advanced carbon capture technologies funding opportunity announcement will support cost-shared research and development projects that will continue the development of carbon capture technologies to either the engineering scale or to a commercial design. Carbon capture technologies is one of the most effective ways we can continue to leverage the sustainability of our nation's fossil fuel resources while advancing environmental stewardship, said Secretary Perry. This funding opportunity will provide for further innovation on methods for capturing carbon emissions for storage and other utilization efforts, as well as underscore this administration's commitment to both environmental and economic security. Selected projects for the FOA will fall under two areas of interest: scaling of carbon capture technologies to engineering scales using existing host site infrastructure. Say that 6 times fast. Up to 4 awards with combined DOE funding up to $30 million. And initial engineering, testing, and design for a commercial scale post-combustion CO2 capture system. Up to 2 awards with combined DOE funding up to $6 million. Very good. These projects will undertake engineering scale testing in transformational solvent or membrane-based CO2 capture technologies and will conduct design work for a commercial scale post-combustion CO2 capture system at an existing coal-fueled generated unit. That is absolutely awesome. We are moving in the right direction. Very, very good. And talk about moving in the right direction. I have often thought, back years ago when everybody needed, you always needed a grade 12 diploma to get a decent job, a job that paid over minimum wage. And these days, you even need a grade 12 diploma to get a minimum wage job. I don't even think they'll take you at, even the fast food restaurants. So now that times have changed, I've often thought that college should definitely be free for everybody. You need it to get a job over minimum wage. It's good for the economy. It should be absolutely free. People can pay for university if they want to. Anyways, if I was in charge, that's what I would do. So this is really cool. And this is about Ohio State University. They announced an unprecedented offer to make tuition affordable for all Ohio students. Beginning on its main Columbus campus in the fall of next year, the school will fill any financial aid gaps to ensure that all in-state students who qualify for federal Pell Grants will have the full cost of tuition and mandatory fees covered. Wow, that's awesome. This historic step will expand aid for any qualifying new, existing, or transfer students, an estimated 3,500 Ohio residents. Very good. Ohio State's tuition coverage program will help bring the American dream closer to many more individuals and families throughout the Buckeye State, said President Michael V. Drake. We are thrilled to open our doors even wider to so many more deserving students. According to the U.S. Department of Education, about 90% of Pell recipients have family incomes of $50,000 or less. This follows a commitment made by Drake in 2015 to invest $100 million in additional need-based aid for students by 2020. The three-year-old president's Affordability Grant Program has provided $60 million in aid to low and moderate income students thus far. Wow, that's absolutely awesome. Ohio State will invest more than $11 million each year in the tuition coverage program and is working to enhance financial aid for Pell students on its regional campuses as well. Wow, that is so awesome. Now, the article does go quite a bit longer, so if you want to check it out, remember I post all the articles on the Positive Power Facebook page. Now, if I can add to that, here in Ontario, and I don't know if it's all of Canada or not, they are making college free for all students 25 years old and older. So that is a step in the right direction. I think right out of high school it should be free, but that's okay. Baby steps are still steps. We're getting there. So that's good. So quite often we talk about good things that come from bad things. And we've talked about different things like how the earth is warming, therefore the polar caps are melting, which is bad. But one of the positive things about that is there is fish and different wildlife from the oceans that have access to more food they've never had access to before. They can go, farther north and into places they haven't been able to go to. So that's exciting, right? I mean, it's a cycle. Everything's a cycle. The way everything flows together, it's all a cycle. So you need to appreciate it as such. So here we go. Tragically, hurricanes Irma and Maria caused incredible damage throughout the Caribbean to both humans and property. But amid the horrors, there may be one tiny bright spot to come. More baby bottlenose dolphins. That's based on evidence from the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, which suggests that dolphin reproduction may boom about 2 years after a severe storm. There won't be an increase right away, and scientists won't know for a couple of years how well dolphins do in the wake of the back-to-back monster hurricanes. Dolphins give birth earlier in the year, typically before the start of autumn, off the coast of Florida. So there aren't any more calves to come this year. I didn't know they were called calves. There you go. But there are two depressing ways that a team of scientists who study animal welfare think major storms could lead to a population boom in the year or two immediately after severe hurricane damage. First, storms kill young calves. Dolphins typically reproduce only every few years, depending on intervening time nursing. But when a calf dies, the mother can breed again the next season. So if the storms wiped out a sizable percentage of calves born in the past couple of years, next season could see many more female dolphins breeding in the same year than usual, and that would mean a baby boom. The other possible factor is the hurricane's destruction of fishing boats, which usually compete with dolphins for fish. Interesting. That means that the dolphins that made it through the storm will likely have an easier time tracking down their meals, and that can be a sizable effect. Hurricane Katrina nearly halved Mississippi's commercial fishing haul in the next year. Fewer boats means less traffic to upset the dolphins, and fewer fishing boats means more food for dolphins, even despite the fish kills that are often caused by the large influxes of nutrients hurricanes push off land and into the ocean. See, it's all a cycle. Before Hurricane Irma approached Cuba, 6 captive whales drew headlines when they were evacuated to another aquarium, amid fears their enclosures wouldn't hold up to the storm. The hurricane's impact on wild marine mammals has also been a concern throughout the storms, and even television reporters pitching in to rescue stranded dolphins. That is so very cool. Very awesome. So see, there always is an upside. It's just you have to take the time to focus on it. So I thank you to thegoodnewsnetwork.org. That's where all 3 of those stories came from. Now, I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to rush through this last little part. 22 simple ways to get healthier with minimal effort. We were just talking about that before the news. How you don't have to get caught up in big diet changes, big exercise. Baby steps are still steps. Make simple tweaks. So, quickly, 22 simple tweaks. Number 1, fill half your plate with non-starchy vegetables. Number 2, eat from a smaller plate or bowl. I always eat from a sandwich plate. Number 3, swap refined carbs for whole, unprocessed carbs. Whole, unprocessed anything is always better. Number 4, add some fruit to your morning oats. Number 5, eat fatty fish often. Number 6, consider certain supplements where you're lacking. Number 7, drink green tea. Number 8, have your coffee black. I don't know if I can do that one. Number 9, avoid sugary soda. Done deal. Number 10, always keep healthy snacks in reach. 11, drink a glass of water with every meal. That is such an old school thing that we really need to bring back. I was just talking to a group about that this morning. Number 12, make a grocery list before you shop. Never shop hungry. Which leads you to number 13, shop on a full stomach. 14, choose real foods over highly processed foods. 15, practice mindful eating. So you're going to use all your senses to appreciate, right? 16, eat sitting down. Very big thing. We are way too busy. 17, go for a walk during your breaks. 18, take the stairs instead of the elevator. 19, try using a standing desk. 20, unplug from technology an hour before bed. I love that idea. 21, sleep at the same time every night. I think most people do that. 22, try regular meditation. Huge advocator of that. I would love you to come to my meditation anytime, every Wednesday. Mystic Mind, 30 minutes. And that was number 23. So the bottom line is, being healthy is easier than you think. In fact, there are many ways you can get healthy with minimal effort. So, add some of that stuff in. Makes a big difference. You know, baby steps are still steps, and these little tweaks are absolutely huge. So, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a great show. Unfortunately, it was a little shorter than usual, but I'm here just the same. We're here together. Great music, great news, great times. So you can follow me on Facebook, Michelle Dion, 1L, 2 N's. Go to the Positive Power page. You can follow that as well. Please like it. And all the news articles and some music and random things and positive stuff. I post on there every single day. You can find me on Twitter under @SarniaRocks, and if you want to email me anytime, Michelle@SarniaRocks.com. Thank you so much for joining me. So before we wrap this up, I think we should go out with a good positive tune, don't you? Something that is going to lift us up and keep us going, well, until the next factor of life kicks in, because there's always going to be something.